Hey you guys, what's up? Okay, so I've been like seeing people's like YouTube videos and people posting talking about the Tomoe River paper in 2025 and how like a lot of people have been experiencing bleed through and all of that. So honestly, what I really wanted to do was do pen tests, and these are the four Hobonichi papers and things like that I have for this year, or for 2025, not for this year. And I'm going to use various fountain pens that I already have inked up. So I'm pulling all of those out. I'm trying to like do this in a way where I'm using my most used writing utensils. I am going to do my clean color dot markers. I think that's important. I'm going to do some Tombos. So I think I'm going to do like, can you guys see everything? I'm going to do this 817 Tombow that I have. And then I think I'm going to try, no, not that one. Hold on. I'm trying to grab some stuff. This is N25, which is a really, really dark gray. And then I think maybe I'll try like a green and one of my darker colored blues, just to kind of see how they perform in each of these. And then we'll talk about it. I'm also going to use my Pentel Energel because that is a common pen that I use. I think I would like to try a Stadler. I'm going to throw in a mild liner. We'll use this blue one. I'm going to throw in this plum colored Sarasa clip in a 0.5 that is from the, what is it called? Something. The vintage collection. Sorry, brain stopped working. I think I'm going to use a big highlighter and I want to find a Sharpie S gel because I do use those sometimes. Not a ton. We'll just go with this yellow because I haven't done a yellow. That's a lot, right? And then let's do the Uniball 1 in 0.7. And let's pick a Uniball 1 in the 0.38. Let's go with this orange color because I don't have, well, I do have a orange fountain pen ink. We'll go with that orange color, and we're just going to see how each of these performs. So I think what I'm going to do, that's a lot, isn't it? Lord have mercy. So I'm not going to like label exactly what all of these are per se. Okay. So let us start with the cousin, and I may speed this part up. We'll see. I'm trying to find a blank page back here to see kind of like what it does. And I don't really use these notes pages in the back. So let's use these. And what I will do is I will use this very last page here and just write in like pen tests and see. So I'm going to start with my fountain pens. I'm going to have all of them here. I do have these like inked up with various inks. Some of them are really bold and wet. Some of them not so much. But I do want to test them out. The only pen that is like a wild card is going to be my little retractable pen because I haven't used it in a few days. So I'm worried that I'm just trying to get the ink flowing real quick. Oh, there it goes. It started. Okay, so we're going to do all of my little fountain pens. So this is a Jinhao X750 medium nib. So I'm not going to write the ink names. I'm just going to write the pen. And it's a juicy pen. Jinhao. What'd I say? X750. And it's a medium nib. Okay. This is a Jinhao 82. And I think this is a fine nib. And it's the same color ink. Just looks different. Jinhao 82 and a fine nib. So let's just do all my Jinhaos. So this is also a Jinhao 82 in an extra fine. This is Agent How 82, also in an extra fine. Okay. This is the Moon Man retractable. I'm just going to put Moon Man retractable. And this is a fine nib. This is a Sailor Compass in a medium fine, I believe. Yes. Okay, and then we have the Twisby Eco in an extra fine. Okay, so those are all my fountain pens in here. Okay, so now let's go to like my most used pens. So let's do the Uniball 1. This one should be fine. This is a 0.38. Let's do the Uniball 1 in the 0.7. And I'm not doing this to see how like it smears. I am concerned about bleed through, all of that. And I just wanted to make sure that that's not what was going to happen here. This is my Pentel Energel. And this is a 0.5. And then this is the Sarasa Clip in a 0.5. I'm trying to use varying colors. I don't think I have any other pens. So let's do the Staedtler. I spelled it wrong. Of course I did. It's an E. The Staedtler fine liner. Okay. Let's do some dots. So I kind of want to use I have this one, and then I think I'm just going to use like my dupe dots. I feel like if it, same consistency. So I'm going to go like light pressure, and then as I go, I'm going to add more pressure. Okay. I'm going to do the same with this one. This is a, what is this? This is like a dupe dot marker. So I'm going to go boom, boom, boom. Y'all like my sound effects? And then a lot of pressure. We're going to see how these go. Okay, so I got the dot markers done. The Staedtler is done. So let's do some Tombos. So I'm going to go like this. And then on like half of it, I'm going to go twice. And then I'm going to write the Tombow number. So I'm going to put Tombow. And this is 443. And then I'm going to do the same here. And this is Tombow 296. This is Tombow N25. Ooh, I dropped it. And then we'll do this pink one. I feel like that's various colors. This is 817. Okay. And then this is I'm just going to have to like write what it is. This is a Bic highlighter. I'm going to do 2 passes on bottom. This is a mild liner. And here is a Sharpie S-Note in yellow. Okay, I'm going to write what these are just so I don't. So this is a Bic Bic. This is a mild liner. And this is a Sharpie S-Note. Okay. All right, I hope I was in frame for all of that. Okay, so these are all here. Let's flip it around. Yeah, so I'm not seeing the bleed through. Even on the mild liner where, I mean, I put a lot of pressure here, I'm not experiencing any bleed through. So maybe the paper I got, obviously there's ghosting. There's always ghosting when it comes to you know, Tomoe River paper because it's so thin. But there is no, there's no bleed through. There's some ridging. But like my fountain pens didn't bleed through. My markers didn't bleed through. There's no bleed through that I'm seeing here. I mean, I was heavy-handed with a lot of these. So the paper that I have in my cousin, I would say based off of like what I'm seeing here, it seems fine to me. So yeah, so that's just my experience. Let's test out these stamps and see how these do. These are the stamps that I got from Hobonichi. I did have some bleed through with these in my current Han, so I'm curious if I'm going to have that same concern here. So I'm just going to hold it and press everything down. Okay, so you see all of those there. I love that little coffee. It's just so cute. Sorry, laundry's going in the background, guys. Okay, so let's flip it around. Definitely, if y'all look, definitely some, I think there's definitely some bleed through here. Also, another thing that was noted was there was potentially some feathering when using fountain pens. I'm going to go as close as I possibly can. I'm not experiencing any feathering with my fountain pens at all. So that's interesting to me because I've watched a couple of videos and I was like, oh, I'm kind of nervous, you know. There's definitely bleed through here, some here, some here. These two don't have bleed through. It's just really dark shadowing with the stamps. So that's interesting to me. So yeah, that is what I got going on with the cousin as far as like my pen test. Now I'm going to do like a full writing sample as well with my thickest nib fountain pen. And it is, let me let y'all know what I have this inked up with. I keep it a little ink journal. I have this inked with Pilot Iroshizuku Sayuro, and it is a medium nib. So I'm going to write a quick, like the quick brown fox, you know, said it. So I'm going to put a writing sample. And I think you guys can see this is a pretty juicy pen, juicy ink. And I'm trying to look closely. I'm seeing some really nice shading here, but I'm not seeing any feathering. It does appear to be very wet. So that's the writing sample. Let's flip it over and see how it looks after that. No bleed through on my end. Okay, so that's a positive, right? I'm kind of happy about that. I'm not seeing any bleed through. So I'm not seeing that this paper is performing any different than my Han from this year. So I don't know if maybe there were like some quality control issues, because I witnessed like, you know, videos where people were having that issue where it was the fountain pen ink was feathering and all that. But yeah, I'm using majority of my inks. Actually, all of my fountain pens that I currently have inked up are Pilot Iroshizuku fountain pen inks. Let me put that out there in case someone is concerned that maybe it's the ink, but I'm not seeing any feathering. I would say like it's the exact same writing experience that I've had all year. Okay, so instead of going to all the notebooks, because I feel like this video is going to be forever and a day, let's try the weeks, because again, these are going to be the the planners I write in the most. So I'll just take the very last page. This is the weeks I have set up for 2025. It's not set up, that I have in my possession. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use this as my pen test page. And you know what I didn't use? Holy guacamole. The Tombow, these pens. So I'm just going to write hard tip and soft tip because I know what that means. So hard tip, because I use these very frequently in my planner. So I think I need to write these as well. Hold on. Sorry about that, guys. And this is a soft tip. The sun just keeps fading, and I'm so sorry. Okay, so these are the Pilot Fudenosuke markers. I like these. I use them quite frequently. So let's flip this over. Again, I have no bleed through. The shadowing is expected on my end, but no bleed through. Like I've seen that was happening in other people's papers with the Tomoe River paper. So I'm sorry for those who are experiencing that. It's terrible. Okay, so yeah, so that's that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do all the exact same pens that I did here, but in my weeks, and then I'll cut the camera back on. I'm going to cut it off. That way you're not sitting here watching me do it. And then I'll cut the camera back on to show you like kind of what the results were like. Okay, guys, I didn't peek, but I did the exact same thing I did in my cousin. The only difference is I probably did smaller samples, but I also turned my writing sample over sideways just to have the space to write it. So yes, let us turn this page and see what we're looking at. Okay, so what I did for the highlighters is on the second line, I made a second pass. Interesting. There's no bleed through on the stamping. There's no bleed through with the fountain pens. There is some bleed through with that Sharpie S-Gel highlighter. Not a ton, but definitely some there. I am a heavy-handed writer, so I feel like I need to say that even with fountain pens, I write very heavy-handed. So there's definitely a difference right here. If you want to kind of, let's see if we can show this together. So here was my writing sample for the cousin. I saw no bleed through with the yellow Sharpie highlighter, but there is some definite bleed through here on the weeks paper, but that's the only thing I see. Like even the ghosting is not terrible, and even like where I did the stamping, I tried to hold for like the same amount of time and the same amount of pressure. Maybe I did something different. And notice, oh look here, just a little bit on the Sailor Compass fountain pen sample that I did. There is a very minuscule amount of bleed through right there. And that is that orange color from Pilot Iroshizuku. But that is the only bleed through that I'm seeing for the Hobonichi weeks, which I think is fascinating. So it does not appear that I am experiencing the problems that other people have experienced with the cousin and the weeks, based off of like what samples I have done in my in the last like note page in each of these books. So aside from that little bit of bleed through here and very, very tiny amount of bleed through here. So, I mean, that's what, here, you guys can see one last time, and then I'll just flip it over one last time so you can kind of look. I'm using natural lighting. I have a small lamp on beside me, but I'm facing, my window's facing that way, and I have sun. So that's what I'm looking at here with these two books, which I find interesting. I may have to come in at another time and do the one for my notebooks that I have. I don't have the time to get that in today, but I did want to, I wanted to test this out for myself because I was getting nervous looking at what other people were posting about the 2025 Tomoe River paper and that was concerning to me. Let me go ahead and just show, I don't know if like this, like, manufacturing number makes a difference here, but I'll share mine so you guys can see if maybe, I don't know if maybe it's like a different batch of paper that's made. Both of these are Japanese versions. I did not get English versions of either one of these planners. These are both Japanese versions, so I don't know if that makes a difference. And this is also an Avec as opposed to a cousin. So anyway, I just, like I said, wanted to share these little writing samples that I did here today, so that way you could see how my Hobonichi for 2025 were performing. And you know, I mean, it's had time to dry, and I'm just lightly grazing my finger over all of these. And I have sweaty hands typically, so you know, there's no smudging or anything like that. Now, it's been several minutes since I did all this, but usually I allow my paper and my planner to dry for the most part. And they're not, you know, they're not smearing. I have some like fountain pen inks that even if it's been in for like a year, like it does smear. So anyway, that's the experience that I have with these two planners. So anyway, I just wanted to be informative because like I said, I did see some people were having issues with the Tomoe River paper, and then I was like, oh crap, I'm gonna be so mad if the planners I spent all this money on are not gonna take my fountain pens, or I'm gonna have problems and da. So I'm really glad that the notebooks that I have are not having the problems, but I'm really sorry for those who are experiencing trouble with these fountain pen, or with the Tomoe River paper. I know that has to be so frustrating for you. But yeah, I would love to know, have you guys had, either positive or negative experiences with the 2025 Tomoe River paper? I'd love to hear from you about it. Anyway, just let me know if you have questions, anything specific as far as like writing utensil or what type of ink I used. And I'll do my best to answer those. Anyway, I'll see you guys in my next video, and I hope you have a fabulous day. Bye, friends.